Now, Australia's High Court has overturned the country's first law allowing same-sex marriage, less than a week after it came into force. And in another blow to gay rights campaigners earlier this week, India upheld the legislation criminalizing homosexuality. RT's Gayane Chichakyan looking now at the countries taking such a conservative approach.
Most Western countries already recognize in some form the right of gay couples to get married and adopt children. But in other parts of the world, there is the opposite trend. In Australia, just days after the nation's capital allowed same-sex couples to get married, the High Court there struck down that decision, saying regional authorities had no right to decide the matter.
To live in a relationship of love and trust together.
27 Australian couples then saw their marriage annulled within days. Australia's High Court ruled that gay marriage was illegal because the Marriage Act only recognizes marriage between a man and a woman, and only the Parliament can change the legislation. The most recent attempt to change the law in the Australian Parliament failed last year. Polls in the country show support for gay marriage stands at 53%.
And I find it absolutely amazing that at a time in our history when we're jumping through hoops to try to make sure that every tree on the planet has its natural environment so it can flourish, that we would be challenging the definition of marriage, which creates exactly that environment for a child, requiring that it's between a man and a woman.
In India, the Supreme Court has just made gay sex illegal again. Since the 19th century, India has had a 10-year sentence on the statute books for, quote, carnal intercourse against the order of nature. 4 years ago, a lower court found it unconstitutional. The Supreme Court just brought the law back into force by making a similar argument as the Australian judges. Only the nation's parliament has the right to change it. But with the overwhelming majority of Indians against same-sex marriage, and with a conservative nationalist group leading in the upcoming elections, any legislative change in the next few years is highly unlikely.
But we have our own religious and cultural ethos, and all the communities of this country feel that our religions treat it as an offense, and it should remain so.
Eastern Europe has seen something similar. This December, Croatians voted in a referendum to outlaw same-sex marriage. 2/3 of the mostly Catholic population there approved changes in the constitution. In the tug of war between those who are and those who are not allowed to say I do, the conservative view on marriage seems, at least at the moment, to be prevailing in many parts of the world. Gayane Chichakyan, RT.
And Australian gay rights activists are pledging to press on with their fight for same-sex marriage. And according to Ivan Hinton from Australia Marriage Equality, they have a clear plan on how to win the government over.
The work that we need to do from this point onwards is obviously on a federal level. We have a very conservative government. We have a conservative Prime Minister whose sister is gay, and she's also engaged to her lifelong partner. This is something that we need to work on, not just with the Prime Minister, but also his party. At the moment, they're tied to vote according to the way he wishes them to. We're working very hard to make sure that they have a free vote, a conscience vote, to release those members of their party who are very strong supporters of marriage equality. Once we've got that, we're going to be much closer to achieving reform across the country.
And in Croatia, the government has proposed life partnership legislation for gay couples. It'll allow them to register the relationship but not to get married. The majority of Croatians voted to ban same-sex marriage in a referendum. American pastor Scott Lively praises the countries which chose to outlaw gay marriage.
I think that's a positive trend. I think Australia has just shown some courage in standing up to the gay agenda. India has decided not to allow its sodomy laws to be taken off the books. Jamaica is showing resistance to the United States-led effort to end its sodomy laws. It looks like the Jamaicans are not going to go pro-gay on that. I believe that homosexuals should have basic civil rights. No one should be knocking down their door trying to find out what they're doing in their bedroom.